What if I told you that a small, nagging pain in your calf could be the first warning sign of a serious injury? One that could sideline you for months or even change the way that you run forever. Most runners experience aches and pains, and it's easy to dismiss discomfort as part of training. But there's a particular kind of calf pain that isn't just normal soreness. It's a red flag, a signal from your body that something is wrong. The problem is, most runners just completely ignore it, pushing through without realizing that they're making things worse. By the time they finally stop, it's no longer just a minor issue, it's a full-blown injury. You see, runners are used to discomfort. It comes with the territory. Training pushes through your limits, forcing your muscles, tendons, and bones to adapt. Feeling sore after a hard workout? Completely normal. A little tightness at the start of a run? Also normal. But not all pain is created equal. Some aches are your body's ways of telling you it needs recovery, whilst others are just simply early warning signs of damage and something you should not ignore. The tricky part is that these signals aren't always obvious. A mild strain can feel like tightness. A developing tear might start as a dull ache. Many runners assume that if they can still run on it, it mustn't be that serious. But thinking this is exactly what leads so many athletes straight into long-term injuries. So, how do you know when calf pain is something you should take seriously? The first key is understanding how it started. Did the pain come on suddenly, or did it build up over time? A sharp stabbing pain that appears mid-run is very different to a gradual tightness that develops after weeks of training. Acute pain, especially one that forces you to stop running, is a major red flag. It could be a muscle strain, a partial tear, or even something more serious, like an issue with your Achilles tendon. On the other hand, pain that starts as a mild tenderness or tightness, but progressively worsens over days or weeks, could indicate overuse, little micro tears, or even the early stages of a stress fracture. In either case, ignoring it and continuing to run through can turn a minor issue into a major problem. One of the biggest mistakes runners make is assuming that all calf pain can be solved with stretching and foam rolling. While tight muscles are common, persistent calf pain isn't always about flexibility. In fact, excessive stretching can sometimes make things a whole load worse. If your pain is due to a strain or a small tear, aggressive stretching could further irritate the muscle. That will delay the healing and increase your risk of a more serious injury. The same goes for deep massage. While foam rolling can help with general soreness, pressing too hard on an already compromised muscle can lead to more harm than it does good. Now, there are a few telltale signs that your calf pain isn't just normal soreness. First, if the pain worsens as you run instead of easing up, that's a warning sign. Soreness from a hard workout usually improves as your muscles warm up, but an injury often does the exact opposite. It feels manageable at first and then it intensifies. Another red flag is pain that lingers even after you've rested for a few days. General muscle fatigue should improve with recovery, but if your calf still hurts after taking time off, something deeper is going on. Swelling, bruising, or tenderness to the touch are also signs that you're dealing with more than just tightness. And then there's one specific symptom that almost every injured runner looks back on and says, I should have paid more attention to that one. It's that feeling of an unusual tightness or cramping in the calf that doesn't go away, even with rest and hydration. Many runners mistake this cramping for dehydration or fatigue, but it can actually be a sign of muscle dysfunction, poor circulation, or even nerve compression. If left unaddressed, this type of discomfort can eventually lead to a more serious problem, like compartment syndrome, a condition where pressure builds up in the muscle, restricting blood flow and causing severe pain. By the way, make sure you download the free calf strengthening cheat sheet linked in the description below this video. It's stacked full of exercises and info to help you prevent calf injuries and stay running pain-free. Anyway, Here's where most runners go wrong. They assume that if they can still run through the pain, it's not a real injury. But certain types of calf pain are actually signs of deeper issues like muscle imbalances, weak stabilizers, or improper running mechanics. If your calf is overworked, it might be compensating for weakness elsewhere, like your hips or your glutes. Running with poor form or muscle imbalances places extra stress on your lower legs, leading to chronic strain. And if you're increasing your mileage too quickly or running in worn-out shoes, that strain can turn into a full-blown injury very, very easily. The more you ignore these warning signs, the worse they get, until eventually your body forces you to stop running altogether. So, what should you do if you start feeling this kind of pain? First, listen to your body. Don't try and push through the discomfort. If you notice any of these warning signs, pain that worsens with activity, tenderness in one specific spot, or a deep ache that doesn't improve with rest, it's time to take action. Reduce your mileage, avoid speed work, and focus on recovery. Strength training can help correct imbalances that might be contributing to the issue. Exercises like calf raises, single leg deadlifts, and hip stability drills can really improve your biomechanics and reduce that excess strain being put on your lower legs from weakness higher up. And if your pain persists for more than a week, consider seeing a physio or a sports therapist to get a proper diagnosis before it turns into something more serious. Because here's the truth, injuries don't just happen out of nowhere. They build up over time. The runners who stay healthy the longest aren't the ones who never get injured, they're the ones who pay attention to the small warning signs and take action before they become major setbacks. The big thing you can do for your running longevity isn't to ignore pain and push through, it's to recognize when your body is asking for help and respond accordingly. So the next time you feel an odd pain in your calf, don't dismiss it. Address it early, train smarter, and keep running strong for years to come.